Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. We want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Bahasham. Rakach Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Aquathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Yeah, this is your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And this is Party Oops Out of Time, right? You know, Prince's song. And that's basically what it is for America, Babylon the Great. Party over, oops, out of time. So it says after nearly 40 years in business, Party City announced Saturday that it has begun to wind down of its retail and wholesale operations as it prepares to permanently close all of its locations, going out of business, right? Sales and discounts have already started, right? So this is the place, you know, everything must go type situation, because what? We're in the time of the end, man. So all your sins, your atrocities, the things that you have done against the Lord, they must go, because what? There's a judgment that's going to come to this place, man. And ultimately, this is what these elite know, because when there's no goods being shipped here, there's no sense of being in business, man. So World War III is definitely have to be cooking up, man. Right? These things are starting to be evident that they're gonna have to, push the charagma, right? Because they may have some type of way that goods and stuff still get here, but it's gonna be slow. It's gonna be a slow process, and they're gonna make it seem like you have to go through this way in order to get the goods, right? Because it's not an abundance of it, right? Because of the war, because of the canal, right? Because they were trying to go through the canal right through between Israel, right? They were trying to go through that port of entry, going to Europe, and then I guess on from Europe to America, to certain places, and the way the shipping and the things will be. Matter of fact, let me look that up.
The Houthis are a rebel group in Yemen that have held that country's capital since 2014. Since 2015, they've been battling a Saudi-led coalition there that supports the exiled government of Yemen. Now, the Houthis have received both support and weaponry from Iran as that war has gone on. Recently, though, the Houthis have begun launching attacks targeting ships in the Red Sea. The rebels say this is to support Palestinians stuck in the Gaza Strip amid Israel's war on Hamas, though many of the ships that they've been attacking don't have any clear links to Israel. This has endangered shipping up the Red Sea, into the Suez Canal, into the Mediterranean Sea, and onward to Europe, disrupting cargo and energy shipments that are crucial for worldwide trade. The United States and allied nations have sent naval vessels into the Red Sea to shoot down Houthi missiles and drones, but the attacks have continued and shipping remains disrupted.
Yeah, so you've even got this right here, Big Lots, right? Big Lots announce going out of business sales. So this is only 57 minutes ago. Stores closing, sales underway, at all Big Lot sales. Right? This one, I think this one says Big Lot is going out of business, has sales online at remaining stores. Right? So I guess whatever remaining stores that, I guess you can get it online. So you got these major stores that's closing up. And they may, not saying that, just speaking as a man, they may use these things as a way to say, hey, it's hard to get stuff here, but we are getting stuff here. So get the charagma and you can get what we do have, right? Or you get nothing, right? You have to be a part of the beast system, the method of the beast system, right? You have to be down with it in order to get what they can get. So, some people will be, willing to do it because, hey, at least I can get something, hey, that's going to be what? The hour of temptation, right? Yeah. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe, which means, destruction, right? Judgment to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay, right? And when you go into thick clay, he don't just lay himself, the citizens, right? So all those people, they have all those jobs, Party City, Big Lots, any of these companies that they're going to be laying off people at any point in time because they're gonna bring in that well, of course, martial law. A lot of people are going to be dying, but ultimately, what they're trying to bring in is that who's ever alive and willing, so to speak, to get the universal basic income. That's basically what they're gonna do. So, Salakia. So that clay, it's a batyad, right, which goes into a weight of a pledge, right? And when you go into a pledge just means like a pawn shop, like you're pawning it, like you're giving forth the dang, it used to be a word. They used to have that when we were kids. You had to give up like your ID. Like we would go to the park and you would have to give up your ID to get one of the toys or get the things so you could play a game. I forgot the name of it. But you have to do that in order to get, you know, the balls for the pool table, the ball for the foosball, right? You know, borrow a basketball, you had to, basically like, collateral. I believe that's what it's called. You have to give collateral, whatever, so to speak. And saying right here, you, collectively pawned goods, thick clay. See?
Buy a false ETYM.
right? So that's what basically what that is. Like, when you deal with a pledge, it's basically like a pawn shop pawning your goods. You have to give up your collateral or whatever it is, put it down, your money, your television, whatever it is, and basically they give you some money for a little while, and then it's for you to come back and basically buy back what you pawned, right? So that's basically what a pledge is, right? You can go, I believe it's in Deuteronomy, because it's basically a law in that, right? So you could buy it back, and then if I think it's so many years, they're supposed to actually give it back to you. But see, this is a wicked system, and and they give you back to you. They're not gonna give you back, even if it's a family heirloom, because ultimately that's what that goes into in the law. It's like a family heirloom or something. After so much time or whatever, they basically have to give it back to you, because it's a family heirloom, especially in the time of um a jubilee, right? A jubilee year, right? But these people, they have there's no mercy, right? Hey, that's crazy. Right on time. I think there's no mercy out here. So it says a heavy debt, right? So yeah, so this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. It says, what I'm gonna do it in the amplified version. It says, what will all these victims see? Ultimately, all these the so-called American citizens are just victims, right? The victims of this system, right? All these victims, right? You're working at Party City and Big Lots and whatever bank you work at, or uh, whatever job you work at, General Motors. They just basically just, hey, we're packing up, we're moving to some other country, right? Because we can't afford it, which they could, because there was nothing wrong with here, right? Especially in the time that they're not going through what Mercedes is going through, and BMW is going through, and some of those other countries that's in Germany, right? Because they didn't gave all their money to to the war in Afghanistan. No, the war in Ukraine. So like, yeah, they gave all their money to the war in Ukraine, and now it's unfeasible for those companies to operate in Germany anymore. It's far too expensive, right? So all those people are getting fired. So it's not just America, right? So this whole Edomite system is falling apart. So will all these victims see of his greed, right? And that's ultimately what this is. That's why it's all falling apart, because of his greed. Not take up a taunting song against him. And that's ultimately what everybody's saying. This guy is a greedy, basically a greedy bastard, right? Everybody's singing this same song. Everybody's saying, hey, this is not uh, feasible. Rent's going up, inflation's going up, this is going up, and you're firing people, you're laying off people, but it's ultimately to corner people, man. It's all set up to corner you, put you in dire straits. You're gonna be in this credit system where you're gonna need some type of help, and see, he's gonna cause the problem and then try to cause a solution. So you sing a taunting song against him in And in mocking derision against him, right? Let's see what the
Derision.
Derision, contemptuous ridicule. See, everybody's gonna start ridiculing the JJs, small hatters, the system, the presidents, because they're all related. And that's not just in America. That's in Germany, Spain, Switzerland, France. And all them presidents over, they're all interrelated, all the way back to America. You know, the presidents that's in every president in America is related to every president that's in Europe, that's in England. And they're related to every president that's in France, and every president that's in Germany, and every president that's in I don't know, what area in those European countries, right? So people are gonna start seeing these things, understanding that, right? And people are gonna be singing, and not really actually singing. It's just they're gonna have that thing, you know how people, no justice, no peace, no just. That's like a way of singing. But this time, you know, it's really gonna be, people are gonna act, right? People are gonna put forth action. They're not just gonna be singing no justice, no peace. They're gonna show forth no peace. But this is what they want, right? They've been expecting it, right? It says against him, right? Against him, saying woe, which means judgment, is coming to him who increaseth that which is not his. How long will he possess it? Right? Because Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He possessed the earth, right? And he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, and who is he, right? Because they have this new movie, a new show out on Fox Nation, JC, Crown of Thorns, right? Is that not them changing the image of the judges? If not, and who is he, right? So it says, that how long will he possess it? And woe, which where you learn woe is judgment, weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? To him who maketh himself wealthy with loans, and ultimately that's what it is. He's make all you citizens basically have loans, man. You in order to get your house, you need a loan. To get a car, you need a loan. And all that makes you. You want to go to school? School loans, right? All this puts you in debt, right? What makes you debt slaves? Will your creditors, right? You people, you're all under all this credit overload with all these with basically this debt not rise up suddenly, and those who collect from you, right? Because the jobs are gonna be out. So even those who paying their credit, paying their thing, but even the people who collect for you, because even they're gonna be out of a job. Everybody's gonna be out of a job pretty soon. Even your collectors for you await then, and will become plunderers for from them. Then you will become plunderer for them. He said,
Plunder.
yeah, plunder. Steal goods, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because people are going to be rioting, taking stuff from the stores. They're going to be because once they realize this system is completely crashed, the dollar's crashed. There's no dollar. People are going to be snatching grabs all over the place for whatever they can grab, right? Because there ain't going to be any supplies, right? The way people played nice during the CV19 and people just buying up everything, that might play out for a little bit, but after a while, people are just going to start plundering it. They're going to just start taking from the stores, right? Yeah, so this is Habakkuk 2:6. I'm going to that word, thick clay. Bought yet. It says, thick clay goes into what? A weight of a pledge. And weight of a pledge goes into like a pawn shop. Pawned goods, right? So and this thing, people are going to basically have to sell off what they have or pawn some of their goods to survive. They got just all of a sudden, hey, we're going out of business out of nowhere, right? Like the same week of Christmas, they did it last Saturday, right? A couple of days just before so-called Christmas, right? And there's your so-called Christmas spirit, right? Heavy debt. See, and ultimately that's what this whole system is, to put you into heavy debt. Pledge for a debt, right? Right. That's the system is made about. This whole thing is to make you victims of debt, and then turn around and pull the rug off under you, and say, "Oh, hey, we're out of business," out of nowhere, right? Yeah. So this is James chapter 5. I'm gonna just keep on going with the AMP, which is the Amplified version. This is James chapter 5 verse 3, Amplified version. Your gold and silver is corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you. See, the basically uh, uh, America's falling apart, and then not to mention the system's falling apart, but not to mention the people are going to start waking up. They're going to see, in that, like I said, like the verse we read, they're going to make a taunting song against them, and they're going to start realizing that the only thing is getting rid. Well, people already know that, but people are actually going to start not just speaking. They're gonna be lashing out, basically wagging their hands at the elite. They're gonna be getting on the news and this and that, or rioting, saying, "Hey, dude, what's going on? You're just leaving us out here, right?" Because if anybody knew anything, everybody would stand up against what happened to the people at Party City, and then people are just kind of saying, "Oh, that's not right. That's not cool that they did that. That's not." But if you knew, you would be rioting right now. But you don't know. You don't know. A lot of people, they're gonna wait till it's at their front door. But the Lord said that this is gonna be a witness against him, right? Right? And they're gonna be rioting. They're gonna be protesting. All these different things are gonna start happening as a witness against him, right? Showing that his greed shows that he's not fit to rule. His thing's about just I just want more. I'm a filthy triple trillion, but I want more, right? and it's the whole thing is going to implode on him, right? It's going to be a witness against him, right? And will be a witness against you, and will consume your flesh like fire. You have stored up treasures in the last days, when it will when yeah when it will do you no good. Right, because he's going to go into the bunkers, and after all this, the dust is, so to speak, settled, the elect is coming out of the chariots, finna break into those bunkers and go into the ones in outer space, the ones in ground. I mean, in the water. If Leviathan ain't killed the ones in the water, get them out of they bunkers, their little safety so-called net, right? And bring them out and put them in chains, the first fruits of slavery, right? So it says, look, the wages of the wages that you have fraudulently withheld, right? Because it's just all about his greed, right? Fraudulently withheld from your laborers, right? See, Party City and all these other places, any place that you work, right? You're just a laborer, right, and a debtor, because that's all it is. You're gonna be in debt, or creditors, right? I said creditors, but basically just mean you're in debt. So you're working hard, and then they're constantly putting all this debt on you, right? You have to have a loan or whatever for all sorts of things, right? Pretty much everything you do. So which just puts more debt. Then they come in and swipe your job off from underneath you, right? It said falsely withheld from your laborers, who will was it who have mowed your fields, right? What is it called? Landscapers, farmers, you know, basically those people those plowmen, men who's out there in the field, your jobs, wherever you work, even if you work at a bank, wherever you worked at Party City, you were plowing, you were working, you were in the field, you're working, you're in the world, you're in the working place, the world, what is it called? The working world, right? The field meaning the world, right? Are crying out against you, right? And that's what that taunting song, right? That taunting song. Now they're crying out again. Hey, we need to get. You just left us out here, right? No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hey, man, and now people are they're gonna understand what Jake always felt like. You know what I mean? They're gonna understand. You know, a little bit, like the guy who got wrestled down at that was it the airport? You're treating me like a black guy. That shit is hilarious. I still think about that. You're treating me like a black guy, right? Because they know how we're being treated. That's how he understood. Like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to get treated like that. I'm supposed to be able to outburst, do whatever I want to do as a what? And you can't. No, but that time is coming to an end, right? Right? The draconian laws is coming in. So, but they're gonna be crying out against you for vengeance. Oh, see, and their cries and the cries of the harvesters, right, have come to the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, which means host, armies, the Lord of armies. All right. Yeah. So this is Job 20 and 22. says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, with me difficulties, right? Because people are going to be rioting, people are going to be singing song, basically. They're going to be asking for justice, right? They're going to be asking for vengeance. They people are going to want some give back. People are going to be angry, right? Every hand of the wicked, right, shall come up upon him, right? So the system, everybody's going to be rioting, fighting, all sorts of things are going to happen, right? You're going to see that this place, America, is not going to be the same ever again shortly, right? So going to that word wicked, it's not actually wicked like as you think, right? It's talking about you people, you creditors, right? You laborers, sufferers. See, because they're basically putting all this debt slave on this debt, basically making you debt slaves and putting you in a position, and then just wipe your jobs off from underneath you. But this is all to put you into a box, put you in a situation where you're going to have to choose to pick the charagma, right? Kind of what they did with the CV-19. They hey, and people did it because they were in such debt. I don't know if I just quit my job. I got this bill, got this. I can't just quit my job. And then what do I do? You know what? I guess I'll take, you know, I'll take the jump shot and another jump shot. And he said come back around the hokey pokey, turn yourself around and do it again. You know what I mean? The new normal. Trust the science. This is the thing that they were saying. But why you're just a laborer, and being a laborer and being in all that debt that you're in, you're just suffering. You're just the wretched. You're the wretched ones. See, and they don't give a damn about you, right? Yeah, you're just there to toil, right? And even then, they're calling you useless eaters. Useless eaters, right? Yeah, sorrowful. Yeah, that's all it. Wicked. Yeah, workmen. See, and that's what you are. You're all in the workforce. You're doing this stuff. You're in the field. You're in the world, doing your jobs. Just trying to make a living, trying to take care of your children. But hey, these people, they don't give a damn about any of that, right? They don't give a damn about any of that. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's what it is, man. Yeah. So it says Job 20 and 22, and the Amplified version says, in the fullness of his access, great was it
Abundance.
great abundance. I hate when it does that. God dang. Great abundance. He will be in trouble. The hands of everyone who suffers, right? Right? You're losing your job. You've been working all your life. You've been doing all these things. Now they're telling you, guess what? There is no Social Security. There's no retirement for you. There's no this and that for you. There's no 401k for you. Right? You're just a sufferer. You're a worker. Right? Will come against him and he will come against him. He is miserable on every side, right? Which the elite are not miserable, but the country, the things that they built, America being a cash cow, that's going to be out of here. It's going to be miserable on every side. Riots, fights, this and this and that. Hey, this place will never be the same, right? Let's see this SS. I've seen that. Let's see, do it. Yeah, so it's assess. See, in a moment of something that is more than necessary. So this dude's push forth, basically, is making all this money, and he got more money than it's even necessary for him to make. Why put you in debt, right? Yeah, so this is Proverbs 22 and 26. Be not thus one of them that striketh hands, or of them that are sureties for debt, which they just said that they made hired a bunch of people for the what's it called? Slovakia. Can't even think right now. For the RRS, Slovakia, because basically they're debt collectors, right? The RRS, and they wanna arm the RRS. So we're coming to the time they're talking about arming the RRS with guns, hiring them. That's being a surety for debt, right? As far as the RRS, so they putting you into this situation, right? And let's see, surety. Go to the definition. See, it says
Surety.
surety, a person who takes responsibility for another's performance of an undertaking. For example, their appearing in court, or the payment of a what? Debt, right? And that's going into what? The RRS. So they're going to put you in all these different restraints and all these different things, take you to court to make sure that you make these payments. They're arming the RRS, saying that they're going to have them with guns. So basically, they're policing them, right? Which I believe that's one of the definitions for this too, if I seen it right. Giving money to support undertaking to someone will perform the duty, pay their debt. So yeah, you're making someone pay their debt. I think it's this one. Oh yeah, guarantor, basically the role of a police as a guarantor of public orders, right? Basically, you're like a police. It's gonna be like a police to make people pay their debts, and that's the thing that they're going to come down upon this place knowing that they got but a short time. They're going to come down with great wrath, knowing that they got but a short time, right? To make people pay their debts, right? Which we went into that pledge, right? Which is going into debt. That's in the Bible, pledge, right? Going into like the pawning, right? And that's basically ultimately what they are.
Collateral.
Oh, see, told you. Going into what the thing is, it's like collateral. And then what's the collateral now? You are going to be collateral. You're the collateral. You as a person, and put the RFID micro C hip within you, and now you're the collateral that you have to try to redeem back. But the debt is so astronomical, you will never be able to basically buy yourself out of debt. There will be no one to redeem you. This is why we need Yahweh Shai. This is what Yahweh Shai had did. He's already redeemed us out of our debt. He came and paid the bill. So to trust this system and not Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that's the crazy thing about it. See? But a lot of you Jakes, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're going to trust this system, right? And hey, they're going to put the micro C hip in you. So I'm going to go ahead and read it over here. It's Proverbs 22 and 26 in the Amplified version. It says, do not be among those who give pledges involving themselves in others' finances or among Salakia, or among, what was that? Salakia. And others who give pledges involving themselves in others' finances, or among those who become guarantors, right? Which we were talking about that. Basically, guarantor means basically like a police. You're policing the person to force them to pay their debt, right? For others' debts, right? Because ultimately, the debt is really this country, or this country who owe the elites. But their debt is so far gone. The collateral is you, to ensure that the debt that they accumulated for this country, so they could so-called pay it back to the elite, is basically to make the citizens itself be the payment. So if you have nothing, right? If you have nothing with, it says, if you have nothing with which to pay another's debt, then he defaults. Why? Right? And that's ultimately what the elite is saying to this country. Hey, what you need to do is, because that's why they're just buying up a bunch of things, going into war, doing all these different things, because that's what they're saying. They're not going to have to pay it back. They're just going to default on it and place it upon you as citizens, right? And he defaults. Why should his creditors take your bed from under you? So basically, that's what it is. This country is going to default and then basically make you homeless, and then say, "Hey, I got a way to fix it. We're going to take all these abandoned buildings, or we're going to take all the houses and things, and we're just going to pile everybody into a house. You're going to live in these 15-minute cities. We're going to basically close you into these places." right? Yeah. So yeah, just keep on going. Might as well keep going because that's what they're going to be doing to build these 15-minute cities. It says, do not remove ancient landmarks which thy fathers have set. It says, do not move the ancient landmarks at the bordery uh, boundary of the property of your fathers have set. So what they're gonna do is basically corral people into a certain land mass, a land border, and remove other borders, right? In order to make these 15-minute cities. So they're gonna be moving people's they're gonna be moving landmarks, so to speak.
The 15-minute city is an urban planning concept that aims to make it easy for residents to access their daily needs within a 15-minute walk, bike ride, or public transit ride. The concept is based on the idea that cities should be designed around people, not cars. The goal is to reduce car dependency, promote healthy and sustainable living, and improve quality of life. The 15-minute city concept is based on several principles, including
Right. So now you kind of understand what they're going to, right? So this is their big plan, right? They're talking about moving so everybody, once you're in debt and all this other things, and they're gonna basically make it after all the rioting and all the fighting, their plan is to come in and basically make everything like this, make these so-called smart cities, right? And everything is going to be within 15 minutes. There's your house, 15 minutes back. You want to go to the store or somewhere to go buy, stock up goods, stock up. It's 15 minutes, right? You want to go to the gym, 15 minutes. You want to go to the movies, you want to go watch a play, 15 minutes, right? You want to go to the park, enjoy outside. It's 15 minutes. All right. You gotta go to work. It's gonna be 15 minutes. So this is better for you. That's what they're saying. So they're not worried about anything, right? Yeah. So this is Micah chapter 2 verse 2. It says they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And this is an amplified version. It says they covet fields and seize them, right? Going to war, seizing them, and the houses, and take them away. They oppress and rob a man, right? That's what they're going to be doing. See, they rob you from your wages. They do all these different things. So, yeah. And rob a man of his house, a man and his heritage. So, yeah. So they attack a man and his heritage, or take siege of a man and his heritage. So this is Jeremiah 6, right? Because that's basically how Esau's coming. It says, arise. I'm going to do it in the Amplified version. It says, arise, let us awaken to attack her, right? She's talking about you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? Ultimately, that's what this Bible is about. That's what all this thing is about, right? Jacob's trouble or Yaquab's trouble is going to be everybody's trouble. So even these regular Edomites, they're going to get involved. These other so-called Moabites and Elam, anybody who's here, they're going to round up and grab everybody. But the main thing is about you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? Attack her at night and destroy her fortress palaces, right? Which come into your house. It says going into a man's home, right? Destroying a man and his home and even his heritage, right? Going into corralling people, putting people in these 15-minute cities, putting you in debt. So that way you have no choice but to get the micro C-hip, right? It says for Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Rakal Kadash of hosts, which means armies, has said, cut down her trees and buildings and build a siege mount, build a siege mount against Jerusalem, right? And this is prophesied against Israel when basically the Romans did this, right? They put the Palisades and basically built a outer wall. So if you try to run out, they will be able to kill you. And they lock them into the city to control what came in and what came out, which is ultimately what they're going to do now, real soon, right? There's nothing new under the sun, especially when it comes to this devil. He repackaged it, but it's always the same thing. It's the same MO, but it's also what prophesied by the Lord saying to do this to you because you are disobedient, right? They're going to starve you out. They're going to take siege at you, starve you out in your home, your heritage, everything you're about. They're going to move your landmarks in order to build these 15-minute cities, right? It says mount, build a siege mount, right? Which talking about those Palisades, ultimately that they made took the trees and cut them and made them Palisades. So when Israel came trying to run out, trying to leave, they would run into that thing, and then it was easier for them to stab them up and grab them, kill them, or whatever they doing, or put them into slavery, however they wanted to do it at that time. So, but that was actually prophesied back in 70 AD, and this was Jeremiah's time. He was basically saying the same thing that was going to happen in 70 AD, right? Which, this is the city which must be punished, right? Which you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. There is nothing but oppression inside her walls, right? And that's all you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native. You oppress ultimately each other, mostly, as a fountain spring ups and pours out fresh water, so she continually pour out her fresh wickedness. What? Violence and destruction are heard inside her walls. So all you're doing is what? Violence against your brother, black on black crime, brown on brown crime, whatever it is, which really you're not black, you're many shades of brown, But, you know, under these conditions, you're basically called as black and Mexican and Puerto Rican and all these BS names, right? Right? But you 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 you're you ain't trying to get any correction, right? You're just doing your own thing at the end of the thing, and it's a sickness and wounds are always before me, right? Because it tells you, was it Isaiah chapter 1? It says the whole head is sick and the heart is faint, right? From the head tribe of Judah all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, all you doing is gang banging, pimps, hoes, this, that, or Christian churches. You know, even that's like a sickness, man. Right? You're into all these different wayward philosophies and ways, and and the truth comes, and you still don't want to pay attention to. But it says, "Be wise." Right? Those who are paying attention, be wise and be warned, O Jerusalem. See, you're supposed to be wise. The men of the Lord comes out and teach, do the things that tell you the right way. But hey, you just want to keep on going. But Esau, Edom is about to build a trench around you. He's about to build a mount around you via debt and also so-called necessity. Well, you know what? We need to build these 15-minute cities because you know what? It's going to save the world. It's going to save the environment, right? Which is basically nothing more than a concentration camp, which is basically nothing more than prison. But they're selling it as a concept as if this is the best thing since sliced bread, right? They're going to sell it to you, or if not, they're gonna kill you, right? And that's ultimately what was happening. It says, "Be warned, be wise, and be warned, O Jerusalem, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, or I will be alienated from you." Right? The Lord is not going to hear you. Which, you know, in that time of Jacob's trouble, a lot of you wasn't seeking the Lord when he could be found, and in that day, he's just going to be not found. He's going to be alienated from you. The Lord ain't going to hear your cries, right? From you, and make you a desolation and an unhabitable land. And that's what's coming to America. America is going to be an uninhabitable land, man. Unfit place to live in, right? Race wars, riots, fighting, barely any food, diseases, all sorts of things. And Esau is going to come in with his problem reaction solution, saying, "Hey, we got these 15-minute cities. Oh, you're in debt? Well, hey, you don't got no way to eat. Take this charagma." But really, it's because he's not willing to pay the debt to the bankers. So you're going to be the collateral. You're the payment by putting the charagma, the micro C hip in you. You're the payment to them, and now you just have to be happy. Take your universal basic income and just be happy with that, right? Yeah, see right here. It says Luke chapter 19, verse 43. I'm going to go in the Amplified version because I like the Amplified version. For a time of siege, right? They're coming to attack you. And as you can see, it keeps that word keeps coming up because that's what's happening. That's what the self-proclaimed so-called white man is going to do. He's going to take siege upon you. It says that he covered fields. He's gonna bring everything upon you, put you in all these debts, take away your jobs, do all these different things. And that's just one job. That's just one or a couple places at the Party City and this and that, and they're closing up stores all over, not just America, all over the world. This is actually happening, right? And I believe the main place is really facing it is Germany, right? But this is all interconnected with America, NATO, right? The EU. But then a lot of those EU countries are saying, hey, we don't want to participate in not having enough money. So a lot of them, they're saying, hey, look, we want to break apart from that. So which is ultimately going to cause that anger where they're going to hate the horror, where they're going to hate America, which that's what this is really coming down to. And they're going to shoot missiles on this place. But let's get to this part first, because all these things are going to come down upon you, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, before even the missiles hit, right? You're going to feel this. And this might be simultaneously with the Charagma, because they might allow some of this stuff to spill out, let it go on for a while, and then push in the Charagma to say, hey, I got relief for you. There's some glimpse of hope. Just come and get the Charagma, right? Right. And when you see the deaths and the killings and the people starving to death and the people killing little children, and it's going to be some things that Americans have never seen before. Stuff that goes on almost every day in other countries. And when you see these things, a lot of you are going to be willing to get to be a slave to the banking system, and you're going to get that Charagma. You're going to get the micro C hip, right? So for a time of siege is coming when your enemies, right, which is the self-proclaimed so-called white man, dealing with the bankers, because the bankers, all the wars are bankers' wars, which they ultimately, the military, the police, really belong to them. People, what are you doing? I'm a taxpayer. You need to listen to me. You talk to the cop. No, they belong to the elite, and they're your enemies, and that's how they're coming in. Is it going to be the Jacob Rothschild or whoever is himself coming? No, he's going to send forth the police. He's going to send forth the newly armed IRS agents after you, right? And there's going to be your enemies will put you in a barricade, right? That's what I was talking about. And back then, they made the Palisades, right? And they're gonna bring in a Palisade again, which is the Charagma. Barricade you with pointed stick, Slakia.
With pointed
Stacks. With pointed
stakes.
With pointed stakes, right? Which is the Palisades, right? They're gonna barricade you in with pointed stakes, right? Against you, and surround you with armies and hem you in on every side, right? Because when you go back into Jeremiah, it said cut down the trees and build a moat around them, which that goes into what the Palisades, and which that's what they did to us in 70 AD, right? But this is what do they call it? A similitude, or the same thing but in a different fashion. They're gonna corral you in and they're going to build 4 Palisades. But this Palisade this time is going to be the Charagma, which the Karax is basically the pointed stakes, right? Which is going to be the delivery system and putting the micro C hip in you, which is going to have which will have graphol, which will be written information saying who you are, your birth date, your history, your arrest history, your dental history. It's going to have everything that is you, your license, registration, everything that you are, whatever it is. It'll be on that micro C hip, right? And it's a way to basically barricade you in, and it puts you into these 15-minute cities. On top of it, with armies, and hem you in on every side, and they will level you to the ground, because they coming in knowing that they have but a short time, right? Esau's going to come in like a flood. Esau's going to come in with great wrath, knowing that he got but a short time, and they will level you to the ground. Jerusalem, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and your children with you. See, they out to kill your children, everything. They don't give a damn, right? And your children with you. They will not leave you one stone on another, all because you didn't come progressively to recognize from observation and personal experience that the self-proclaimed so-called white man is the devil. And we've been telling you that. You went through you can go through history, what your ancestors went through. Go through what happened during the CV-19 global, some people call it a scamdemic or pandemic, whichever one you actually understand. But you're supposed to pay attention through personal experience, the time of your visitation, right? The time that the Lord said that he was coming to judge the world. Now look at the thing. The Lord said, measure the things and the time diligently in itself. And what time and hour you need to be in. World War III is out there. The Charagma's being pushed. The financial stability of America ain't looking so good, but it's not just America. Europe, just in general, right? While they're trying to fight a war against China, which is a huge army, Russia, which is a huge army, and then it's like every day Russia's getting richer and richer. Russia is becoming stronger and stronger. So not only they have a strong military, they're becoming stronger in their finances. And that's ultimately how you fight a war and win a war. Is a strong military and strong finances. China has a strong military and strong finances. So they keep weakening their finances, right? Which is weakening their ability to actually even fight a war, right? But they're continuing to do it. You got to pay attention to to and personal experience the time of your visitation, right? The time that the Lord is starting to judge this place, when the power, the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, was, let's see how it go.
was gracious.
Oh, right. Yeah, see? The time that Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bashem Rakakadash was gracious, right? Which is called, what do they call it? Grace, right? Everybody, well, I'm a sinner in grace, right? But you didn't know grace just meant a grace period. You know what I mean? Just a time to get yourself together. That the Lord was gracious, gave you time, but you didn't take heed into the grace period when the time that the Lord was gracious, right, towards you and offered you salvation. See, and the men of the Lord telling you highways and the byways, telling, hey, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you are the Israelites. To keep playing with trying to pray to something that does not exist, praying to other demigods that don't really exist. The letter J is only 400 to 500 years old. The scriptures say that the Lord has woolly hair, dark brown skin, as if it burnt in a furnace. Obviously, this is the way this man looked, and the way the Lord said, the scripture says, believe in him as the scriptures have said. But you decide to do what you want to do, right? Yeah, so this is Luke 21 and 22. For these are the days of vengeance, of rendering full justice, or satisfaction, that all things which are written will be fulfilled. See, hey, everything, this is for the satisfaction of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that everything that he written will be fulfilled, and then no one can say that there's no God. All this BS that there's no God, because only a fool will say in his heart that there's no God. When the birds and the trees and the things that you see outside, the way that the sun, there's 12 hours in a day, 12 hours at night, the way the sun goes up and come down, the way the thing, you have to know that was orchestrated. It had to be created. That there's no way that there's a big bang or some type of accidental, or whatever madness that Esau comes up with, or whatever you say you believe in, right? Or I believe that there's a higher. Well, then what is his name? What is his son's name, if thou can tell? What is anything? What are the requirements of this power? Because I've heard people say, no, I believe that there's a higher power. Well, what are the requirements to that higher power that you believe in? See, we have those requirements with the actual higher power. We have this. You know what I'm saying? You have the guidebook to know how to please them. But since you want to do your own thing, right? All these things are going to be fulfilled in woe, which means destruction, right? Judgment, right? To those women who are pregnant, and to those who are nursing babies in those days, right? Because it said they're gonna come against you, even in your children. So men, women, and children are gonna get put to death. Anybody don't want to get down with the get down, Esau's get down, which really ultimately is the Lord's get down, because that's really how the Lord is using Esau to judge you. But the Lord is ultimately going to judge this Edomite. That's why he says that land is going to be inhabitable, because missiles are going to be shot from England, from Germany, from Russia, from Iran, North Korea. It's so many missiles are going to come to this place and make this place inhabitable. But are you paying attention? Are you using your personal experiences to understand that this makes sense what these people are saying? The wickedness in America could not possibly keep going on, right? It's impossible. So those who are nursing babies in those days for great tribulation, right? This was 70 AD, but there's nothing new under the sun. So these are things that Esau has done then, and he's going to do it again, right? Great tribulation and anguish will be on the land, and the wrath and tribulation on this people, what? Israel, which is you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man, right? Man, woman, and child. And they will fall by the edge of the sword and will be led captive, right? Because they're going to have these concentration camps, right? Or re-education camps. And if they don't feel like you could be re-educated, you're going to get put your head in the guillotine. And they got these new guillotines that's computerized. So it's going to make a clean cut, and it's not going to dole out the blades. You know what I'm saying? They might even have like some type of laser edger thing, like it automatically, what do you call it? Sharpens the edge with some type of laser beam thing, and then the laser sharpens it shoots out the thing and sharpens the edge every time it comes down, chops off a head. You know what I mean? Esau got some technology, man. So, and it says, by the edge of the sword, right, or take the charagma, right, and will be led away captive into all nations, which we already in all nations. So there's no other place for you to run now. Time is up. Oops, party ups. Oops. What do you say? Oops. Time's up. Party over. Out of time. Right? No more party, man. No more partying like it's 1999. Nope. Party is over. Party City is over, and the party's over. Hey, there's nowhere else for you to run. So the place you're gonna be put in captivity is these 15-minute cities. If not, you're gonna get put to death. Right? Right? And not to mention, you might die from all the other diseases and everything else, or get the charagma and die from the grievous sore, because it's gonna lead forth cancers, grievous sores. So it says into all nations, and Jerusalem will be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, self-proclaimed white man, right? Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, complete. And so now we're at the time of it being complete, because he's revealed. We know that this is Esau, Edom. We know that Yahushua is coming back. We know that they seeing the orbs everywhere, right? And the Lord, it means the Lord's, what they call it, war games. The Lord doing war games with them. He's basically flexing his muscle, showing them as far as war games. And that's ultimately what the Lord is doing. And this is why you see all these people, they're panicking, right? Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And like I said, Amplified version. I'm going to keep going with the Amplified version. It says, also, he compels all, the small and the great, the rich and the poor. And when you talk about compel, this is a compel where it's more like they're forcing you, right? It's not just oh yeah, I'll just talk to you nice and easy, like some what's some Joel Osteen, the one brother call him the smile, right? Which makes sense, because that's all he does. He talks to you nice, and he smiles, and he never has his Bible, right? He just go up there and give you a bunch of rhetoric, right? And just smile, right? So and but you people, you don't want to believe us. But you believe the guy, the smile, hey, but hey, it's all good. It says, and this compel is not that kind of compelling. It's basically forcing you by the sword, by conditions, right? Hey, conditions are heavy, man. When you don't got no job, when there's people dying of all sorts of diseases and hunger and all sorts of stuff, that's kind of compelling, man. It's quite compelling, right? Small and great, rich and poor, free men and slaves to be given a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, signifying allegiance to the beast, and signifying the allegiance to this system, right? Right, which is the New World Order, the 15-minute smart cities, right? Basically making you a digital slave, making you the payment because they want to default on their payment. And say, hey, America, we can't afford this, so we're going to give you the citizens, right? So each citizen is a payment in itself, right? So I'm going to go into this real quick because to show you, it's very similar to what they did to us back in 70 AD with the Palisades, right? And let's just go into because charagma, right? That's basically what it is. The mark of that's the mark, which is charagma, mark, right?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Charagma. Yep, charagma, a stamp, an implanted mark, right? So it's going to be implanted into you, right? A mark, stamp on the forehead or in the right hand as a badge of followers of the but this whole system is anti-Christ or anti-Hamashiach. So, even the Lord said that there are many anti-Hamashiachs already out of his own mouth, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He said there are many anti-Hamashiachs already, right? Says the mark branded upon horses, right? What is horse? A horse is known as a beast. And one of the first things that they ever put the RFID micro C hip in were what? Beast. They said you want to make sure that you don't lose your pet, or you farmers, you have your animals out in the field, and your animals might mix into some other guy's cattle. So how do you know whose cattle is who? Back then, you brand them with the hot thing, and you brand them on the side, and you put your family's signature on it, whatever. However, and you brand them with the hot iron. But this is the modern age. You don't have to do that. You put the micro C hip in there, and all you do is scan it, and you know which cattle is yours and which not. Which a horse is called a beast. So it got marked. They marked this beast, which they're talking about doing it to what? Men, free men, bondmen, slaves, to men. Which when you say men, it means men, women, and children, right? To put that mark upon them, right? Right, which is the charagma. And then we have the delivery system, like I was saying about before, because it said build a moat around them. And then and read in the other verse, it said cut the trees and make a stake, right? So what is it? A pell or a stake, a palisade. It says earth, stones, trees, timber, or heaped and piled together, right? To make a wall, to close them in. And it said make a moat around them, which a moat is what, a trench. But this kind of trench, it's not talking about just digging a hole. It's talking about you're digging a hole and you're putting the stakes down into the ground and making like a fence. They made real high big trees and sharpened the edges, made a point at the bottom of the thing and staked them down into the ground and basically blocked the Israelites in, right, which was only Judah, Benjamin, and Levi at that time, because the northern kingdom was already here in what you call America now. They were already here, but that happened to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But now this thing is about to happen to the whole world through the micro C hip, right? And this is the delivery system, right? Which you may call a needle, right? Delivery system, right? And then once that gets through the delivery system, right? And it's called what? Grapho.
Strong's G 1125. Grapho.
I didn't even know if I played the thing. Karax, which is
Strong's G 5482.
Karax, yeah. Which basically, like I said, like Palisades, the stakes. You know what I mean? And yeah, sharpened to a point, right? Sharpened to the point, and that's basically the delivery system. And then the grapho.
Strong's G 1125. Grapho.
To write with reverence from the letters. Let me see if I can just get to the point. Parchment, paper, other materials, things that's written on, information. To express in written characters, right? See? Written characters, that's a good one. And let me get to the point. Where's it at? Because it goes into, I think it's, what is it? Okay. Oh, right here. Yeah. To commit, to write things not to be forgotten, written down, records. So this thing that they're gonna cause see, that's how you know that these other people are fake. That they must have had to sell out, because when you go into these words, right, the definition, this thing means something that's gonna have records. So the thing cannot be a picture of Caesar Borgia because it don't have records, right? It's not a thing written down in records. Now you can go buy some books and read the history on, all these different things, but this is not talking about that. This is talking about it's going to be in you, in the hand or the forehead with records. So how is that? So it has to be the micro C hip that's going to have records, things that's not to be forgotten. Your birth, who you are, your dental records, your job history, your credit history, right? To let you know your so-called status in society, and then your status in that society of your 15-minute cities that they're gonna corral you into, right? Via through the this mark of the beast, right? So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. And the Bible ball. Kwame Yasharala. We got next.